So I said on Facebook that I would do a video recapping Roblox. So day by day, the end of last week, I was kind of just posting stuff about it just because it was showing some interesting setups. So on June 29th at 10:20 in the morning, I said, buy or sell Roblox here. Now, what you see here is you got a trend line breakdown. That's what most people will see. But here I'm explaining that there were two answers because you could go long or you could short because you can make money either way. I personally didn't trade it that day specifically because I don't like trading in ranges. And I'm saying here that the trend line or chart pattern doesn't matter. It's all in the price action. So what you can see here, that photo, I'm saying there's your long entry, right? And there's your short entry. So you could have waited for the long entry or you could have waited for the short. Now, I just don't like scalping because it's not a lot of margin in there. And I'm not really one to, the type of contracts I choose is going to be usually be about a month or two out. So if I trade that, I'm getting like 2%, 5% maybe. It's not really worth the risk for me. A scalper would love this setup. They would have probably destroyed this both ways, made really good money both ways, or a day trader even. So that's that. So that is what I posted that evening of the same day that I made the original post. So now going to the next comment, going into the next day, we saying that one of two things was going to happen today. Either this was a true breakdown or it was a trap. Now, looking at this price action, I have no way of knowing. But just because it broke below that trend line does not mean it's going to break down. You need to flush support. You got to break. Okay, cool. Now, all that means is you watch for a breakdown, but you also are very aware of the fact that you can get trapped, right? So you wait. And the next day, you don't get continuation. I guess one of three things could have really happened. It could have been a breakdown, it could have been a trap, or it could have just consolidated even more and just stayed sideways in this range. So we were on the lookout for either one of those three things. All that break meant was that we're going to add it to our watch list and wait for a trade to see if we get a trade. We very well could have just got a sideways price action and not got a trade, and that's okay. So it turned out that it was a trap, what I like to call a spring. I personally was thinking, typically when I see like the, typical trend line break or, normal breakout that I know that every retail trader is going to see, I'm probably thinking the opposite, that it's probably a trap. So I'm saying here that what ended up happening, my thoughts were verified the next day because you went and got what they call a bullish kicker. So like I said, everybody's looking at that trend line break and they were just thinking, okay, it's going to continue. But notice you got zero continuation for bears. So let me pull this photo up in just a second. But basically, I'm just saying you got to treat each day like a brand new market and come in with no bias. I like to sit and wait for traps. So there are traps occurring multiple times all over the market. So like I was saying, this is where a lot of bears got caught up saying, oh my goodness, we're about to break down. Trend line breakdown, week close. This is definitely going to continue lower. But the next day, sure, that was a fantastic thought. It was nice to have on your watch list. But what ended up happening is you gap up over all of that price action. Now this is a spring. This is a trap. Everybody who shorted that breakdown, anticipating more downside, now has to exit their shorts and to recover. That's what's called a short squeeze, right? So you got two long entries. You can enter long here at the open because you got a gap over this price action, or you can look at it and say, oh, we got back above the trend line, right? So that means now we're bullish. So you can use that trend line as your guide to think bullish or bearish. I don't really use it for entries or exit necessarily. Trend lines and chart patterns just kind of help visualize for the new trader, and it kind of just helps you realize that if I see a trend line or a chart pattern, it's telling me that there is a critical price point to watch somewhere nearby. For me, that was this area where this red line is, and then this resistance point here. So I entered longs right above this 40.20, and I ended up getting like 160%. I took it right up here because that was a retest of old resistance or old support. So now we're thinking old support can act as resistance. I'm not really in a rush to go short here. I just know I don't want to be too aggressively long. So then you're thinking, okay, if this is longer term, you're thinking, if this is a trap, then you can squeeze up to the next true resistance point, which is right around 42, 42.2, something like that. And then possibly even 43. But obviously first you need to reclaim 41. And Roblox did not reclaim 41. This is how it ended that day. So you see, you started the day up there, and that 30, that one candle is what gave me over 150% profit. And you can see we kind of just came back down. So now we'll see if we can hold 40.20, old resistance becomes new support. If you can hold that, get back up to 41.4, reclaim that, old support area, new resistance, reclaim that. You push higher to the next resistance. You break that resistance, then you break this resistance, then that'll become new support on your way up. So on and so forth until something fails, until you see a trap. So that's just how it works. It just stair-stepping its way up. Old resistance becomes new support, right? Old support becomes new resistance. And you're just going to go back and forth until something breaks. But bulls do have momentum right here. And I personally think you can get back up to 42.25 area, resistance area. But you need to reclaim this first. So that's the full breakdown. That's everything on Roblox. And I will show you guys, well, I guess it's not really relevant here, but I mean, you can follow me on Instagram. But I basically did this account challenge, and Roblox was part of that profit. So it took $200 to almost $630 in a month. So this is the end of June now. Well, today's July 1st, but in a month we basically tripled our money. So you follow me on Instagram, and you'll see a lot more, more posts and stuff. I post a lot more on Instagram, so you can kind of see. Usually posting every day, but this is probably gonna be every other day, or maybe just once a day going forward, just because I don't want to really be too involved in the marketing stuff. You can see I do a lot more detailed posts. I haven't really been on YouTube much, but I make private YouTube videos all the time for my Discord group. So if that's something you're interested in joining, then you'll be able to just click the link in my bio right here, and you'll be able to join that. So there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed. And this video will be posted into the comments where this whole thing started on my Facebook. Few Don Yan. Well, that's my name for now. Probably change it soon. But this video will be posted there, so just save the post, and you'll be able to access all the information, see the photos that we reviewed, all that good stuff. And I'll catch y'all later, man.